This film was completed. It was never released. Its own director spent decades trying to prevent the public from seeing it. It is preserved in a national archive, yet remains inaccessible. This is the documented history of The Day the Clown Cried. The Day the Clown Cried is an unreleased feature-length motion picture directed by and starring Jerry Lewis. Principal photography took place in Sweden in 1972. Unlike many films categorized as lost, this film was not destroyed, misplaced, or abandoned due to neglect. Instead, it was intentionally withheld from public release as a result of legal disputes, creative dissatisfaction, and ethical controversy. The project originated from a screenplay written by Joan O'Brien, based on a story she developed together with Charles Denton. The script was never formally published, but its content is known through interviews, production documents, and eyewitness accounts. The narrative follows a German circus clown imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp during the Second World War. According to multiple documented descriptions, the character is coerced into entertaining imprisoned children and later forced to lead them toward their deaths. This premise immediately placed the film in morally and ethically sensitive territory. Jerry Lewis became involved with the project in the early 1970s. At the time, he was internationally famous as a comedian, performer, and filmmaker. Although widely associated with comedy, Lewis had repeatedly expressed a desire to be recognized as a serious dramatic artist. The Day the Clown Cried was conceived as a dramatic departure from his established public image and was intended to demonstrate his ability to address serious subject matter. Production was carried out primarily in Sweden, partly for financial reasons and partly due to the availability of locations and production support. The film was independently financed, which limited available resources and placed significant pressure on the production. According to accounts from those involved, filming was disrupted by budgetary constraints and organizational difficulties. Despite these challenges, principal photography was completed. Although filming concluded, post-production did not proceed in a conventional manner. One of the most significant obstacles was a legal dispute concerning the screenplay rights. Joan O'Brien later stated publicly that Jerry Lewis did not possess full legal authorization to distribute the film. This unresolved dispute effectively prevented any commercial release. Without clear rights to the script, the film could not be legally exhibited, regardless of its artistic content or public interest. In addition to legal barriers, Jerry Lewis became increasingly dissatisfied with the film itself. In multiple interviews spanning several decades, Lewis described the project in strongly negative terms. He referred to it as a failure and stated that it did not work artistically. These remarks are documented in biographies, interviews, and archival sources. Lewis repeatedly emphasized that the film did not achieve his intended goals. As a result of these combined factors, The Day the Clown Cried was never officially released. It did not receive a theatrical premiere, television broadcast, or authorized home video release. This absence was not accidental. It was the result of deliberate decisions made by the filmmaker and reinforced by legal limitations. Despite its lack of public release, the film's existence became widely known. Over the years, reports emerged of limited private screenings. These screenings were not public events and were attended by small, select audiences, often consisting of film professionals or associates of Jerry Lewis. Accounts of these screenings vary, but many describe the film as incomplete or deeply flawed. Importantly, no authorized footage from these screenings has ever been released to the public. The controversy surrounding the film intensified due to its subject matter. The portrayal of the Holocaust through the figure of a clown was widely criticized as ethically problematic. Holocaust scholars, film critics, and cultural commentators questioned whether such a narrative could be handled responsibly, particularly by a filmmaker best known for comedy. These concerns were not speculative. They were openly discussed in critical discourse surrounding the film. Jerry Lewis himself acknowledged these ethical concerns. In later interviews, he stated explicitly that the film should never be released. He expressed regret over the project and insisted that it remain unseen. These statements played a central role in shaping the film's reputation as a forbidden work. Unlike films banned by governments or censorship boards, this film was suppressed primarily by its creator. For many years, the physical status of The Day the Clown Cried was unclear. Speculation circulated regarding whether the film still existed or had been destroyed. This uncertainty persisted until 2014, when Jerry Lewis donated a copy of the film to the Library of Congress. This donation confirmed that the film had been preserved and safeguarded rather than lost. The donation was accompanied by strict conditions. According to official statements from the Library of Congress, the film cannot be publicly screened until a specified period following Jerry Lewis's death. These restrictions were legally binding and were intended to honor the wishes of the filmmaker. As a result, the film is preserved but inaccessible. The inclusion of the film in the Library of Congress distinguishes it from genuinely lost works. It is stored under controlled archival conditions, ensuring its physical survival. However, preservation does not equate to accessibility. The film remains unavailable for public viewing, academic screening, or commercial release. This status places The Day the Clown Cried in a unique category. It is neither lost nor banned in the traditional sense. Instead, it exists in a state of intentional absence. Its disappearance from public culture is the result of legal agreements and ethical considerations rather than physical destruction. The debate surrounding the film continues. Some scholars argue that it should eventually be made available for study, emphasizing its value as a historical artifact. Others contend that its content and the wishes of its creator justify continued restriction. There is no consensus and no official plans for release have been announced. What is known about the film today comes from interviews, legal documents, production records, and first-hand accounts from individuals who have seen it. No complete screenplay has been published, and no authorized clips have been released. This limits the ability of historians to evaluate the film's artistic merits directly. Unlike silent-era lost films, which disappeared due to neglect, fire, or material decay, The Day the Clown Cried was removed from public view through conscious human decision-making. This distinction makes it an important case study in the history of cinema. The film is frequently cited in discussions of unreleased films, ethical responsibility in storytelling, and the boundaries of artistic freedom. Its reputation has grown precisely because it cannot be seen, transforming it into a symbol rather than a viewable work. Today, The Day the Clown Cried exists primarily as documentation, testimony, and debate. It is preserved but unseen, known but inaccessible. Its story raises fundamental questions about who controls cultural memory and whether all works should be made public regardless of intent or consequence. Unless the restrictions governing the film are lifted, it will remain unavailable. Whether future generations will view it as an essential historical document or a failed experiment best left hidden remains unresolved. The Day the Clown Cried is not a mystery created by loss or accident. It is the result of deliberate choices. Its absence is intentional, documented, and preserved as such. In the history of cinema, few films occupy such a paradoxical position.